Committee will come to order. Good afternoon, everyone, and we want to thank the Administrator of the SBA, Maria Contreras-Sweet, for joining with us here this afternoon. I believe that I had a meeting along with a couple other members of this committee and one who's on Ways and Means and wasn't a member of this committee, but with a number of small businesses from around the country. There were 8 exactly, and then some groups, and we discussed a number of issues. We met for about an hour. And one of the issues, not surprisingly, these were small businesses that are actually engaged in trade, international trade for the most part. I think 7 of the 8 were. And as you know, trade's critical to our economy. 96% of the consumers around this globe are located outside the boundaries of the United States, and unfortunately, only 1 to 2% of small businesses are engaged in international trade, and that's despite the internet and access that was unheard of years ago. But one of the principal topics that they wanted to talk about, there were a number. They talked about Ex-Im Bank and other things, but we talked about the importance of, first of all, TPA, Trade Promotion Authority, which used to be called Fast Track years ago, which no president has had in a while, but we've got to do that first, and then TPP is hopefully something that wouldn't be too far down the road from there, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and then TTIP with Europe. So my question for you, Madam Administrator, would be, I understand from others that the President has really stepped up his game in working on both sides of the aisle. He really only needs to work one side of the aisle. We're working the other side of the aisle. But it's going to take, this will truly have to be bipartisan to get this done. So could you comment on what the administration is thinking relative to moving TPA, TPP, TTIP?
I admire your interest and am grateful for your interest in the globalized economy, because I think whether we want to be a part of it or not, it's upon us. When you light up your website, you're already there. And so first, if I may, go to the specific and then go to the general. Let me just say that specifically at the SBA, when I mentioned in my opening address about the smart, bold, and the accessible, the bold really was speaking to the market making. I do think that we have to help small businesses engage and protect them. In other words, not protectionist, but rather guide them through the international marketplace. And so to that extent, you know that we have USIACs that we deploy. We have products that help them. We have really strong products that have a 90% guarantee. Lamentably, it's just not a well-known product, and so that would, that's one place where we can work together. But then to your general point about the administration, clearly the President's made this a top priority of his. He understands that if we don't set some rules of engagement, China will set them for us. And so in that regard, I know the President has asked all of us at Cabinet to make this a top priority. And so I've been traveling across the country to try to engage and engage the conversation, have people give us feedback about what that could look like. I've been meeting directly with Mike Froman, my Cabinet colleague, about an SME chapter and what that should include. We're taking valid input across the country from people, and it's informing our process. But to the extent that we get TPA and TPP, we think that will set a great foundational framework for TTIP.
Thank you very much. My time's expired, but to the extent that I can, please let me urge you to do everything within your power to emphasize to the administration the importance of passing these trade pieces of legislation to small businesses across the country. And you and I, in our different capacities, I think, should do everything we can to do that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.